www.harunyahya.com. Turkish leadership will be based on love, affection, and compassion, and will bring about peace and tranquility. Turkey's increasing influence in recent times and the way it has come to occupy the leading position in its region may be misinterpreted, particularly by some people in the Western community, leading to unnecessary concerns entering the agenda. Turkey's historic legacy and existing political, economic, and geographical conditions make it the natural leader not just in this region, but of a very wide one ranging from Chad to Indonesia, and from Sudan to China, and of the whole Islamic world. However, today, Turkey's conception of leadership is one based on truth and justice, that protects the innocent, that follows a rationale and moderate line, that embraces not just Muslims, but people of all faiths and beliefs, that treats everyone with love and protects everyone's fundamental human rights, and that seeks to establish peace and well-being for all communities. Turkey does not possess the conception of leadership based on the oppression of peoples seen in certain colonialist empires in the past. There has never been a conception of administration that conflicted with, oppressed or exploited other peoples in Turkish history. The Turks brought with them a civilization based on love, compassion, and understanding wherever they went, and never sought to impose their own culture and beliefs. In the times of both the Seljuk and Ottoman empires, this conception of justice and affection, the like of which was unknown in Europe of the time, predominated right across the empires. At a time when Jews and Muslims were persecuted and forced to convert, when those who refused were killed or exiled, Jews, Christians, and Muslims under the Ottoman flag lived together in peace and brotherhood. Jews persecuted in Europe were rescued by ships, specially assigned by the Ottoman Sultan, and an environment was established for these ruthlessly oppressed people in which they could live in peace and security and worship in freedom. In the same way, Christians weary of the oppression of the different sects found the warmth and understanding they sought in lands under Ottoman rule. Anyone looking at history through unbiased eyes will clearly see this, a result of superior moral values based on the Quran and the Sunnah of our Prophet, peace be upon him. Today, too, Turkey is a role model for the Islamic world with its conception of Islam that is in complete harmony with the moral values of the Quran and will protect the rights of the Jews and Christians in the finest manner. With its laic and democratic nature, it will establish a climate in which people holding different ideas can express these freely, and create a conception in which everyone is treated as a first-class citizen. With its devotion to justice, it will protect the wronged, though that protection will come about in the most rational, moderate, and reasonable manner. As required by the moral values of the Quran, it will protect the rights of all who feel the need, not just those of one particular community, section of society, ethnic group, belief, or sect. It will act as older brother to Christians and Jews as well as Muslims. It will build a climate in which Armenians and Greek, Russians and Americans, Israelis and Europeans in China and India can all live in the most comfortable, secure, and peaceful manner. Under Turkish leadership, everyone will benefit, not just the Turkish nation or the Muslim world. Turkey's conception of leadership is not based on racial superiority or the idea of we want to be the leader and everyone must obey us. Turkey's conception of leadership is not one that incites conflict and prepares the ground for anarchy and terror. Turkey's conception of leadership is not an unbending one that encourages a failure to resolve problems. Turkey's conception of understanding is one that demands to serve and suffer hardship, that seeks peace and well-being for others even if it experiences troubles itself, that it is based on self-sacrifice and altruism that is peaceable and full of love. The Turkish Islamic world that knew and longs for the peace and security it enjoyed in Ottoman times is aware that Turkey is best suited to the role of leadership over this wide territory and population. Turkey will bring all the sects in the Islamic world together as brothers, will unite all communities and conceptions around a moderate and reasonable line, and will prevent terror, radicalism, and violence. It will be an effective bridge between East and West, and will have the spiritual power to eliminate prejudices and doubts that various parties hold regarding one another. No other country, apart from Turkey, has the historical, political, and cultural infrastructure to perform this task. It is for these reasons that Turkey is the only answer to the question, who should be the leader in the Turkish Islamic world? Turkey is also the answer to the question to be asked in the West of, who do you want to see as leader in this region? Because all rational people of good conscience and common sense are aware that Turkish leadership will benefit both the Turkish Islamic world and Western civilization. The period ahead of us will be one in which Turkish spiritual leadership increasingly grows and develops, as frequently stated by both Western and Eastern thinkers. However, it needs to be reiterated that this is a spiritual leadership, one that takes the form of an older brother. That leadership will guarantee peace, tranquility, well-being, and security. United under the Turkish leadership, the Turkish Islamic world will embrace the whole world with love and affection, and enable a very wealthy, highly developed, and enlightened civilization to be constructed. Our hope is for this union that will manifest the love, compassion, and justice of Allah in the finest manner, to come about at once and to be instrumental in the immediate ending of all negativities that inflict pain and suffering on people.